Okay, so going on to the next example. So if you have any question about our previous example, just ask it to me. Okay, so example number 8. Okay, sabi dito. Okay, so just giving you a small uh, overview about this example. This example talks about um the illustrating about the heat of fusion. What do you mean by that one? Okay, it means that it is the heat required, or the energy required for the liquid or the solid to transform from one phase to another. Okay, so ibig sabihin pag yung solid natin, for example, is nag-transform siya from solid to liquid, okay, yung heat na ginamit niya doon is tinatawag nating heat of fusion. Okay? Tapos when the liquid naman is nag-transform siya from liquid to gas, ang heat na ginamit doon is tinatawag nating heat of vaporization. Okay? So, take note that in that case, sa heat na yan, okay, wala tayong change of temperature. Ibig sabihin, ang temperature natin is constant, no? But, for us to be able to transform that one, we have the, yung heat required, okay? Para ma-break. Yan actually yung tinatawag nating breaking of internal forces of the molecules of solid and liquid for them to be able to transform from one place to another. For example, yung solid natin, nag-transform siya into liquid. Okay? So, ibig sabihin nun, yung heat na ginamit niya doon is pinaslow niya kumbaga, or nagkaroon ng decrement of its forces. Okay? Para nang sa ganun is convert yung solid natin into liquid. Okay? So from liquid naman to gas, ang ginawa doon is yung heat na ginamit doon is ang ginawa niya is yung forces na currently nandoon sa mga molecules ng liquid is nawala or nag-disappear kumbaga due to the heat. Okay? So that's why naging gas na lang siya. Okay? Take note that yung gas is yung kanyang molecule is wala. Yung gas is yung kanyang molecule is palutang-lutang lang kumbaga, or hindi siya kumbaga compact. Okay? So this is the example number 8. Okay? So we have how many ice cubes at 0 degrees Celsius must be added to a bowl containing 1 liter of boiling water at 100 degrees Celsius so that the resulting mixture reaches a temperature of 40 degrees Celsius. So assume that each ice cube has mass of 20 gram and that the bowl and the environment do not exchange heat the water. And assume that the change specific heat of water is 4.2 times 10 to the power of 3 joules per kilogram. So ibig sabihin nito, okay, ibig sabihin ng situation na to, nag-add daw tayo ng cube of ice, okay, para yung water natin at 100 degrees Celsius, or ibig sabihin mainit, no, is mag-transform siya from 100 degrees Celsius into 40 degrees Celsius. At the same time, yung cube of ice natin is mag-transform siya from 0 degrees Celsius into 40 degrees Celsius, no? So yun yung aim natin dito. Okay? So hahanapin daw natin yung number of ice cube na required para yung 100 degrees Celsius natin na water is mag-transform siya from 100 degrees Celsius into 40 degrees Celsius. Okay, so we have step number 1. Find the heat released by the hot water during the cooling from 100 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. No? So, syempre, since yung water natin, yung hot water natin is magta-transform siya from 100 degrees Celsius into 40 degrees Celsius. So, ibig sabihin nun, magre-release siya ng heat. Okay? Magre-release siya ng heat. Okay? So, mahanap natin yung heat na yon. Okay? Mahanap natin yung heat na yon again by finding or by using the equation na Q is equals to mCp change of T, or this one. Q is equals to mC change of T. Okay, so sabi dito, the heat released by the hot water during cooling from 100 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius is this one. Okay, but take note that ang gagamitin natin na C or specific heat is 4.2 times 10 to the power of 3 joules per kilogram degree Celsius, not 1.0. Bakit? Kasi yung 1.0 is, ang unit niya is calorie. So in here, we are not talking about calorie here. Ang concern natin dito is in joules. So that's why ang gagamitin natin is 4.2 times 10 to the power of 3. So makikita nyo rin tong C na to doon sa table 20.1. So just see it. Okay? So, Q is equals to MC change of T. So, yung mass ng water natin, as it being stated here in our problem, it is equals to 1 kilogram. Okay? Kasi 1 liter is equals to 1 kilogram. So, 4.2 times 10 to the power of 3 joules per kilogram degree Celsius. The change of temperature is from 100 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. So, you have 100 degrees Celsius minus 40 degrees Celsius is 2.5 times 10 to the power of 5 joules. Okay, so this would be the heat released. Okay, take note that this would be the heat released during the change of the hot water from 100 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. So equals to 2.5 times 10 to the power of 5 joules. So for step number 2, find the heat absorbed naman by the ice of cube during melting. No, so since when the reaction is being taken, yung cube natin is magiging liquid in siya, syempre kasi mag-transform siya from 0 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius or mag-transform siya from solid to liquid. Okay, so that's why mag-absorb siya ng heat para magawa niya yun. Okay, so from table 20.4, C is equals to 3.34 times 10 to the power of 5 joules per kilogram degree Celsius, or we call this as a heat of fusion. Okay, so okay, yan, when you say heat of fusion, ito yung heat na required ng ice para mag-transform siya from solid to liquid. Okay, so makikita natin yun siya sa table 20.4. Okay, so sa table 20.4 ito. So you have from table 20.4, ito yung heat of fusion, ito yung substances. So ang substance natin syempre is a water. So ito yung gagamitin natin, 3.34 times 10 to the power of 5 joules per kilogram. Okay, so ito yung required natin na heat. Okay, or heat of fusion para ma-transform natin yung water natin from solid to liquid. Okay, so yan yung gagamitin natin dito. So this is Q is equals to MC change of T. We same pa rin, but since here wala naman tayong, as I have said, wala naman tayong change of T when it comes to heat of fusion. So therefore, ang gagawin lang natin is multiply lang natin to siya ng kilogram para maalis yung kilogram dito. So the remaining is the joules na lang. Okay? So yeah, we're assuming that M is the mass of the ice cube. So multiply natin sa 3.34 times 10 to the power 5 joules per kilogram. So ito na yung Q1 natin, no, or the heat of fusion. Okay, required to transform from solid to liquid, or from 0 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius, or from ice to water, or from ice to liquid. Okay, so for step number 3, find the heat absorbed during the subsequent heating from 0 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. So ibig sabihin nito, except from the heat required to transform the solid to liquid, or from the ice to liquid, meron pa tayong additional heat na required para ma-transform siya from 0 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius, no? So again, magkaiba itong dalawa. Okay, bakit? Itong isa, yan yung tinatawag natin again na heat of fusion. Yan yung required para mag-transform yung heat natin from solid to liquid. Itong isa naman to is, yan yung heat na required para mag-transform siya from 0 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, so it is equals to MC change of T again. So M, tapos yung C dito is makikita natin yun siya again sa table 20.1 or ito yung tinatawag nating specific heat, and then it is equals to 4.2 times 10 to the power of 3 joules per kilogram degree Celsius multiplied by 40 degrees Celsius. Okay? Kasi yung change of T natin is from 0 degrees to 40 degrees. So 40 degrees minus 0 is just 40 degrees Celsius. Okay? So the remaining therefore or by adding this, kasi ito lahat yung nagamit natin pang transform yung ice cube natin papunta sa liquid. So by adding these two, so the total heat absorbed by the ice is Q1 plus Q2. So by adding that, then factoring out the M, kasi parehas lang naman yung M nila, kasi lahat din siya is yan yung M or yan yung mass ng ice. So adding this one, so factor out adding these ones, we have this final result of 5.0 times 10 to the power of 5, okay, joules per kilogram. Okay, so since in our problem we already assume that dapat lahat ng lahat ng nagamit na heat in order for us to transform an ice from liquid to from solid to liquid is equal dapat sa pag-transform ng water natin from 100 degrees Celsius into 40 degrees Celsius. Okay? So ang gagawin natin for step number 5 is to equate them. Okay? So sabi dito for step number 5, find the value of mass M by equating the expression of heat. Okay? So sabi dito, the amount of heat released by the water during cooling must equal the amount of heat absorbed by the ice during melting and during the subsequent heating of the molten ice from 0 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. Ibig sabihin nun is yung heat daw na required by cooling of water from 100 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius is dapat equal sa heat na required from nakakailanganin para ma-transform natin yung ice from solid to liquid. Okay, yun lang yung ibig sabihin nun. So that's why i-equate natin yung dalawang expression, yung Q total at saka yung Q. Okay, yung Q total is ito yan siya, yung nasolve natin dito sa step number 4, tapos yung Q is yung nasolve natin for step number 1. Okay, so if you don't be confused about that one. Okay, so equating that ones, we have mass, okay, mass multiplied by 5.0 times 10 to the power 5 joules per kilogram, it is equals to 2.5 times 10 to the power of 5 joules. So mass over therefore dividing this both side by 5.0 times 10 to the power 5 to find this mass, so makukuha natin yung 0.50 kilogram. Okay? So ibig sabihin ito yung total mass ng ice cube na kailangan mo para ma-transform mo yung boiling water or yung hot water from 100 degrees Celsius into 40 degrees Celsius. So ang question sa problem natin is find the number of ice cube. Okay, so for you to be able to find the number of ice cube, sabi sa problem natin, for one ice cube, mayroon daw siyang mass na 0.020 kilogram. Okay, yun yung sabi sa problem, no? Pakibasa lang. So, ibig sabihin nun, pwede pala natin makuha yung number of ice cube, no? So, by taking the ratio, okay? By taking the ratio of this total mass and the mass per ice cube. Okay? Kasi in here, from step number 6, by finding the number of ice cube, we have 0.5 kilogram divided by 0.20 kilogram per ice cube. So, cancel out yung kilogram. So, ang matitira lang is ice cube. So, therefore, ang matitira is number of ice cubes. We have 25 ice cubes. So, the answer therefore is 25 ice cubes. Para ma-convert mo or para ma-transform mo yung, again, yung ice cube or yung hot water from 100 degrees Celsius into 40 degrees Celsius.